can you speak to the following ecologies of knowledges, situated knowledges, and the African archive moving from colonial archive?
I think to frame all that, it takes us back to the whole, what exactly is the problem of coloniality of knowledge? And I think the best answer maybe came from Steve Biko's widely quoted statement that the success of colonial system, the success of those who are powerful, is because they control the minds of the powerless. The pointed weapon in the hand of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. You remember that statement?
Yeah.
The most pointed weapon in the mind of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. And the question which arises, how does one end up controlling minds of other people? Other people say it's due to me impossible. I have my own mind, you have your own mind. How do I end up in control of your mind? And the question of coloniality of knowledge actually helps us to understand that it is very possible that you control the minds of other people. Not directly. You don't tell people, I'm here to control your minds. I'm here to provide education. And in that education, from preschool, primary school, secondary school to university, it programs the mind in the service of those who are dominant, those who are powerful. And at the end of the day, you end up thinking really in service of what oppresses you. So it has a number of dimensions. The archive is one. When we say the archive, we mean, what do you read? Where do you draw? What do you know? You said you are a sociologist. In sociology, there's something called a canon. And the canon consists of Max Weber, Karl Marx, Emil Durkheim, and they are all from the global north. But if you go to Harare, they will be teaching sociology the same people. Go to Pretoria, they will be teaching the same people. Go to Tel Aviv, they will be teaching the same people. And that is the archive, which then shapes your way of knowing. And the issue is, why should you take the archive from Germany and you are teaching it down there? The idea is that because there was nothing. There was nothing. So it was empty. Empty lands, empty knowledges. There were no knowledges. But the truth of the matter is that there is something called African archive. Africans for millennia prior to colonialism, they were able to do things using their own knowledge systems. But colonialism, when it came, it delegitimated those knowledge systems, introduced its own knowledge system. And it is that knowledge system which today is in the minds of the modern subjects, if I can put it that way. We breathe it, as Nelson Maldonado Torres will say, that we breathe the coloniality as modern subjects. Because for over 500 years, that's what they've been feeding us. Institutionally, systemic, and even interpersonally, that's what they've been. The issue of decolonizing, therefore, means that we change the archive from which we draw what we know. And that also means that we recover that which has been displaced and bring them into the center of the academy. And it is within that context that the concept of ecologies of knowledge arises. Because it doesn't mean then you remove the Eurocentric knowledge. It is problematic, but it is still useful. And I want that to be very clear. It is problematic, but it is still useful. It is no longer adequate to the problems the world is facing. And because it is no longer adequate to the problems the world is facing, therefore we need to look for other knowledges. so that we rescue ourselves from the systemic and the epistemic crisis we find ourselves in. And it is within this context that you therefore draw from Islamic knowledge, you draw from African knowledge, you draw from Indian knowledge, you draw from indigenous people's knowledge in order to bring into the academy for the service of humanity, not for nationalist purposes. This is where the caveat needs to be put. It means that the problems of facing humanity are so sophisticated that one knowledge system from one civilization is no longer adequate.